Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins Collections, coin enthusiasts, and history lovers. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that might seem unremarkable at first glance but is actually packed with history, intrigue, and potential value. That coin is the 2000 Lincoln Penny, and this seemingly ordinary piece of American currency could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Whether you have one of these pennies tucked away in your collection or you've just come across it in your change, you'll definitely want to stick around until the end of this video, because we'll be revealing just how much this particular penny could be worth today. And trust me, it might surprise you. Now, when we think of the Lincoln penny, we're talking about one of the longest-running and most iconic coins in the history of the United States. The Lincoln penny was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin's design, created by Victor David Brenner, features the iconic image of Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse side traditionally showed a simple wheat stalk design, until 1959, when it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial. The coin has gone through some changes over the years, but it remains a staple in American coinage. The 2000 Lincoln penny, however, marks a very specific moment in time. The year 2000 was a major milestone in the country's history, coming just at the turn of the millennium, when people were filled with optimism and hope for the future. The coin was minted during a period of economic prosperity in the United States, and its design is part of the larger Lincoln Cent series that pays tribute to one of the most influential presidents in American history. But while most people see the 2000 penny as just another low-value coin, the truth is, there are certain factors that make this specific penny a potential treasure. The first thing you need to know is that the 2000 Lincoln penny is made from a copper-plated zinc composition, which has been standard for pennies produced since 1982. While this might not sound remarkable, the material used to make the coin plays a key role in determining its potential value. However, the value of the 2000 penny comes not just from its metal content but from its rarity, condition, and certain unique features that make it stand out from the millions of pennies minted that year. To start, let's talk about the minting process. The U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies every year to meet the demand for small change. The 2000 Lincoln penny was no exception, and it was struck in large numbers at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The most common version of the coin you'll encounter will have the D mint mark for Denver or the P mint mark for Philadelphia. However, the key to unlocking the value of a 2000 Lincoln penny lies in its condition and any potential variations. Let's take a moment to consider the condition of your coin. Like all collectible coins, the value of a 2000 Lincoln penny can vary greatly depending on how well it has been preserved. If a penny has been circulating in the economy for years, it's likely to have signs of wear, scratches, and discoloration, which can greatly reduce its value. However, if you happen to find a 2000 Lincoln penny in mint condition, free of any noticeable wear, with crisp details and sharp features, that's where things start to get interesting. A well-preserved coin, often referred to as an uncirculated coin, is far more valuable than a regular circulated penny. The rarity of finding a penny in such pristine condition, combined with the demand for high-quality coins from collectors, can make it worth far more than you might expect. But the 2000 Lincoln penny is special for more reasons than just condition. Over the years, there have been instances of unique minting errors, and the 2000 penny is no exception. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the manufacturing process, and they can take many forms, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors result in unique, one-of-a-kind coins that are highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to have a 2000 penny with a minting error, it could be worth a lot more than you might think. For example, a double-struck penny, where the design appears multiple times due to a mistake during the striking process, is a rare find and can be worth thousands of dollars. If you have a 2000 Lincoln penny with such an error, you might want to have it professionally graded to determine its value, as these error coins are highly collectible and can dramatically increase in price. Additionally, collectors are particularly interested in coins that have certain varieties or features that make them stand out from the standard issue. For example, certain 2000 Lincoln pennies have been discovered with unusual die varieties that result in unique design differences, such as different shapes or thicknesses of the letters and numbers. These varieties can be subtle, but to a trained eye, they can be the key to unlocking a coin's true value. Now, let's talk about the overall rarity of the 2000 Lincoln penny. While it's true that the U.S. Mint produced millions of these pennies that year, finding one in uncirculated condition with a rare minting error or unique die variety is much more difficult than you might expect. As a result, these rare examples can fetch much higher prices than the average penny. Most people don't give much thought to pennies, but the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, has shown time and time again that even seemingly ordinary coins can have tremendous value when they possess certain characteristics. So, now that we've covered the rarity, condition, and possible minting errors of the 2000 Lincoln penny, you might be wondering just how much these factors can influence the value of the coin. Well, here's where the fun part comes in. If you happen to find a 2000 Lincoln penny in exceptional condition, with no signs of wear and perhaps even featuring a minting error or die variety, it could be worth a pretty penny, pun intended. In fact, a 2000 Lincoln penny with these characteristics could be worth as much as $70,000. Yes, you heard that right. $70,000 for a single penny. It's truly remarkable how a coin that you might find in your pocket or in a jar of loose change can turn out to be worth such a significant amount. Of course, not every 2000 Lincoln penny will be worth that much, but if you have one that meets the right criteria, pristine condition, a rare minting error, or a unique die variety, it could very well be sitting on a small fortune. So, the next time you come across a 2000 Lincoln penny, take a moment to examine it closely. Look for any signs of wear, check for minting errors, and make sure to consider its overall condition. You might just have a rare find on your hands. Today, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. That's right, today we're talking about the United States 1992 Lincoln 1-cent penny and its surprising potential value. This little coin, which most people simply regard as pocket change, could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars, but there's a catch. Not every 1992 penny is worth a small fortune. So let's dive into why this particular penny has generated so much buzz in the world of coin collecting. Now, before we get to the big reveal, let's take a moment to look back at the history of the Lincoln penny. Introduced in 1909, the Lincoln penny was designed to honor President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The coin features a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side originally featured 2 wheat stalks, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design remained in place for decades, but as you know, change is inevitable, and the 1992 Lincoln penny had its own part in the story of American coinage. The 1992 Lincoln penny is a part of the ongoing tradition of honoring Lincoln, but it's special for a number of reasons. First, let's talk about its composition. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a significant shift in the composition of the penny. Prior to that year, the penny was made of 95% copper. But starting in 1982, the composition was changed to a mixture of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This change was made to cut costs, as the price of copper was rising, and it's something that makes coins from 1982 and beyond particularly interesting for collectors, as the penny's appearance and feel change due to the new materials used in production. The 1992 penny, being made of the new copper zinc composition, is far lighter than earlier pennies and features the same design as those from the years before. On the obverse, you'll see Abraham Lincoln's bust in profile, facing right. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, which has been the hallmark of the penny since 1959. While these designs may seem simple and unremarkable, it's the small details that make the 1992 penny worth a closer look. Now, let's talk about the value. The 1992 Lincoln penny might seem like a common piece of currency that you'd find in your pocket, but the truth is, certain 1992 pennies are much more valuable than most people realize. Most pennies you come across will be worth 1 cent, and while that's fine for everyday transactions, you may have one that's worth far more. Why? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and sometimes even minting errors. You see, the US Mint produces billions of pennies each year, but only a fraction of those coins are in perfect condition or feature errors that make them special. The condition of your 1992 penny is crucial when determining its value. If the coin has been heavily circulated, it's likely to show signs of wear, discoloration, or damage. But if you happen to find a 1992 penny in pristine condition, it's worth a lot more to collectors. In fact, uncirculated coins, those that have never been in general circulation, are the most highly sought after. The cleaner, sharper, and more pristine the coin, the higher its value. But what if your 1992 Lincoln penny isn't just in great condition? What if it has something more? Minting errors can add significant value to a coin, and the 1992 penny has its share of these rarities. Minting errors happen when there is a mistake during the manufacturing process. These errors can range from minor flaws to major imperfections, and they're often incredibly valuable to collectors because they're unique. Some common minting errors for the 1992 penny include double strikes, where the coin was struck twice in the minting process, creating a misalignment of the design, off-center strikes, where the image is imprinted on the coin in the wrong position, and die cracks, which leave distinctive lines or marks on the coin. Out of these errors, one of the most famous is the 1992 close AM variety. The Lincoln penny typically features the letters AM in the word America on the reverse side, which are separated by a small gap. However, a very small number of 1992 pennies were struck with the A and M almost touching each other. This is known as the close AM variety. This variation was caused by a change in the design of the reverse die that was used to strike the penny. The close AM variety is incredibly rare, and as such, it can fetch a much higher price than a regular 1992 penny. Now, let's get down to the real question: how much could a 1992 Lincoln penny actually be worth? Well, if you happen to have one of these coins in perfect, uncirculated condition, or if you have one with a minting error like the close AM variety, you could be looking at a pretty significant payday. So, just how much is this rare penny worth? Are you ready? The 1992 Lincoln penny, especially one that features the close AM error or is in pristine, uncirculated condition, can be worth as much as $80,000. Yes, you heard that right, $80,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that a coin worth just 1 cent when it was minted could be worth a small fortune today. Of course, not every 1992 penny will fetch that price. But with the right condition, the right error, and the right collector, these pennies can be worth far more than you would expect. So, the next time you come across a 1992 Lincoln penny, take a moment to examine it carefully. Check for any signs of wear, look for minting errors, and consider the overall condition of the coin. You might just have a rare and valuable coin on your hands. Today, we're about to uncover a hidden gem that might be sitting in your collection or even tucked away in your pocket change. Imagine having a penny that could be worth far more than its face value. What if I told you that a 1980 Lincoln penny could be worth a small fortune? Sounds unbelievable, right? But in the world of numismatics, it's very real. Stick with me until the end of this video, as we dive deep into the details of the 1980 Lincoln penny, its history, rarity, and most importantly, just how much it's worth today. Before we get into the high dollar talk, let's first rewind and take a look at the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909, it was designed to honor the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The original design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, features Lincoln's portrait on the obverse side, with the reverse featuring 2 ears of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. This wheat design remained on the penny until 1959, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1980 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing tradition of celebrating one of the nation's greatest leaders. By this time, the penny had already undergone some changes, particularly in its composition. Since 1982, pennies have been made of copper-plated zinc, a significant departure from the previous copper alloy blend that had been used for decades. The 1980 penny is made of 95% copper, meaning it has a slightly different weight and feel compared to the newer zinc pennies. This small difference in material is something that collectors often take into account when evaluating a coin. Now, you might be asking, why is the 1980 Lincoln penny special? Well, although millions of these pennies were minted and released into circulation, it's the rarity and condition of certain examples that can significantly increase their value. Most 1980 pennies you find will be worth only 1 cent, just like the ones you're used to seeing. However, in the world of coin collecting, the value of a coin can be much more complex, and that's where things get interesting. Let's talk about condition. As with any collectible, the condition of the coin is one of the most important factors when determining its value. If you come across a 1980 penny that's been in circulation for years, chances are it's seen its fair share of wear and tear. It might have scratches, discoloration, and some other signs of age that reduce its value. On the other hand, a penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch a significantly higher price. A coin in uncirculated condition means it has never been used in regular circulation, so its design and details remain sharp and clear. The more flawless the coin, the more attractive it is to collectors, and the more valuable it becomes. A 1980 Lincoln penny that's in mint condition is definitely something you'll want to hold on to, as it could be worth a pretty penny, no pun intended. But there's another factor that makes the 1980 Lincoln penny so exciting for collectors: minting errors. As with any coin, mistakes can happen during the minting process, and when those mistakes happen, it can lead to coins that are far rarer than the regular versions. Minting errors are often highly sought after by collectors, and they can dramatically increase a coin's value. For the 1980 Lincoln penny, some of the most valuable minting errors include double strikes, where the coin was struck twice during the minting process, causing the image to be imprinted multiple times; off-center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned during the striking process; and die cracks, where cracks on the die cause raised lines or marks to appear on the coin. These types of errors make a coin more unique, and because of that, they're worth far more to collectors than a regular, error-free penny. Another interesting feature that adds value to the 1980 penny is the possibility of having rare die varieties. Over the years, the U.S. Mint has used different dies to strike coins, and sometimes those dies exhibit subtle differences. For example, some 1980 Lincoln pennies were struck using a die that had minor changes in the font, positioning of the design elements, or even slight differences in the shape of the features. These small variations can make a particular penny more valuable, especially if they were produced in limited numbers. Now, you may be wondering just how much a 1980 Lincoln penny could actually be worth. Well, let's get to the exciting part. If you happen to have a 1980 penny in perfect, uncirculated condition or one with a significant minting error or rare die variety, the potential value can skyrocket. While most of these pennies are still worth just 1 cent, the rarer and better preserved examples can be worth thousands of dollars, and in some cases, even more. The truly exceptional specimens can fetch up to $85,000. Yes, you heard that right, $85,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, isn't it? A coin that was minted to be worth only 1 cent could end up being worth a fortune. Of course, not every 1980 penny will be worth that much, but if you've got one in pristine condition, or one with an error or a unique die variety, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, if you've got a jar of old pennies or even just a few random coins lying around, it's definitely worth taking the time to check your 1980 Lincoln pennies. Look for those minting errors, inspect the overall condition of the coin, and see if you have any rare die varieties. It could be the difference between a 1-cent piece and a rare collectible worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're going to dive deep into the world of the 1999 Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that could potentially be worth far more than you imagine. You might be sitting on a hidden gem right now, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for to determine if your 1999 Lincoln penny is worth a small fortune. The Lincoln penny has been an iconic symbol of the United States since it was first minted in 1909. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. From its simple, yet powerful design featuring Lincoln's portrait on the obverse to the reverse side that originally showcased two stalks of wheat, later replaced by the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, the penny has become one of the most recognizable coins in American currency history. The 1999 Lincoln penny, however, stands out as a unique entry in the long history of this iconic coin. While most pennies are simply seen as everyday currency, the 1999 penny has been the subject of much interest in the world of coin collectors. The key to its value lies in a few critical factors: its rarity, its condition, and the presence of minting errors. So, let's take a closer look at what makes this penny so valuable. First, let's talk about the context of the 1999 Lincoln penny in the larger picture of U.S. coinage. The year 1999 was a pivotal time in American history, and the coins produced that year reflect the era's uniqueness. By the time 1999 rolled around, the penny had already undergone changes, particularly in its composition. Pennies minted before 1982 were primarily made of copper, but due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. So, the 1999 penny is made of the now standard copper-plated zinc, a change that's had an impact on the appearance and value of these coins over the years. On the obverse side of the 1999 Lincoln penny, you'll see Abraham Lincoln's familiar portrait, which has been a hallmark of the coin since 1909. What you might not know is that the design of the penny has undergone subtle changes over the years, particularly in terms of the size and alignment of the details. On the reverse side of the 1999 penny, the Lincoln Memorial remains the iconic symbol of Lincoln's legacy. The memorial was chosen to honor Lincoln's life and work, and it has been a part of the penny design since 1959. But here's where things get interesting. When it comes to the value of the 1999 Lincoln penny, the key factors are rarity, condition, and errors. Most people are familiar with the idea that coins in good condition are more valuable than those that have been heavily worn down, but the real treasures are often those that feature minting errors. Minting errors occur when there's a mistake during the production process, and the result is a coin that's unique, unusual, and highly sought after by collectors. These mistakes are what make the 1999 Lincoln penny such an intriguing coin for numismatists. One of the most notable types of minting errors that collectors look for in 1999 pennies is the wide AM error. This refers to a small but significant variation in the reverse design, specifically in the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the coin's reverse. In the normal, non-error version of the 1999 penny, these letters are positioned close together, but on some rare coins, the A and M are spaced farther apart. This error occurred because of a change in the design of the reverse die used to strike the coins. As you might guess, this small variation makes the coin incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these wide AM coins. But that's not the only minting error collectors are searching for. Another common mistake found in some 1999 pennies is the doubled die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned, resulting in a design that appears twice or more. This error can make the coin look blurry or doubled, and it's something that coin collectors find fascinating. A 1999 Lincoln penny with a double die error can be worth significantly more than a regular, unremarkable penny. Now, let's talk about another critical factor that affects the value of the 1999 Lincoln penny: its condition. As with any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining how much it will be worth. Coins that have been heavily circulated tend to show signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, and a loss of detail. These pennies are still worth their face value of 1 cent, but they won't command a premium in the market. On the other hand, coins that have been kept in pristine condition, without being exposed to the harsh wear and tear of circulation, are far more valuable. An uncirculated 1999 Lincoln penny, especially one that has been stored in excellent condition, is something collectors dream of finding. If you're lucky enough to find a 1999 penny that is in mint condition or one that has a rare minting error, you might be sitting on a valuable piece of history. You see, coins like these aren't just interesting to collectors. They're also valuable because they represent a piece of U.S. history. The 1999 Lincoln penny is no exception. It may have been produced in large numbers, but the condition, rarity, and unique features of certain examples make it a sought-after coin in the world of numismatics. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you happen to find a 1999 Lincoln penny in excellent condition, or one with a rare minting error like the wide AM or double die, you could be looking at a surprising windfall. Some of these coins have been known to fetch prices as high as $65,000. Yes, you read that right, $65,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that something so small and unassuming could hold so much value, but in the world of coin collecting, rarity and condition make all the difference. So, what does all this mean for you? The next time you come across a 1999 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. Check for any minting errors, look for signs of wear, and consider its overall condition. You might just have a rare find on your hands, and who knows, it could be worth far more than you ever expected. Today, we're about to dive into a coin that may just be hiding in your collection, or perhaps tucked away in a box somewhere in your house, the 2000 Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, what could it possibly be worth? Well, hold on to your seat, because by the end of this video, you're going to be amazed by just how much a 2000 Lincoln penny could be worth. Stick with me as we take a deep dive into the history, rarity, and hidden value of this seemingly ordinary coin. The Lincoln penny has a long and rich history in American currency. It was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin quickly became one of the most iconic symbols of the U.S. Mint. Over the years, the design has changed, but the figure of Abraham Lincoln has remained as a constant tribute to the 16th President of the United States. As we zoom in on the year 2000, the penny was still a mainstay in the pockets of everyday Americans. By this time, the penny had already undergone a change in its composition, shifting from a predominantly copper alloy to the copper-plated zinc pennies that we know today. This change was necessary to keep up with the rising cost of copper, which made it more expensive to mint the coins. Though the composition was different, the design on the penny remained relatively unchanged, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now, the 2000 Lincoln penny may not have been produced during a time of extreme economic turmoil or during a monumental historical event, but it still has something that makes it stand out in the world of coin collecting: rarity, condition, and the potential for minting errors. Let's take a closer look at what makes this particular penny so valuable. To begin, let's talk about rarity. The United States Mint produces billions of coins each year. The 2000 Lincoln penny was no exception, with over 5 billion of these pennies being minted that year. So, at first glance, you might assume that this coin isn't rare at all. After all, with billions of coins in circulation, it's not uncommon to find a 2000 penny in your pocket change. But here's where it gets interesting. Although the penny itself isn't rare in terms of mintage, the ones that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are a different story. It's rare to find any coin from the 2000s that's in perfect, mint condition, especially one that's been carefully preserved from the wear and tear of daily use. Coins in excellent condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear, are highly coveted by collectors. Now, let's talk about the factors that really drive up the value of the 2000 Lincoln penny. In the world of coin collecting, minting errors are what make a coin truly special. Even though the U.S. Mint strives for perfection, mistakes do happen during the minting process. And when those mistakes happen, they can lead to some incredibly rare and valuable coins. The 2000 Lincoln penny is no exception. One of the most valuable minting errors that you could find on a 2000 penny is called the wide AM error. If you've heard of the term wide AM in relation to pennies, it refers to the spacing between the A and the M in America on the reverse side of the coin. Normally, the letters are closely spaced, but in some rare cases, the letters were struck with more space between them. This error occurred when a different die was used to strike the coins, and it results in a coin that is much rarer than a typical 2000 penny. The wide AM variety is highly sought after by collectors, and the value of these coins can be significantly higher than that of regular pennies from the same year. Another minting error that makes the 2000 Lincoln penny valuable is the doubled die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in a doubled image of the design elements on the coin. This error can create a distinctive, blurry appearance, especially on the inscriptions or Lincoln's portrait. A doubled die penny is not only rare but also visually striking, making it even more attractive to collectors looking for unique additions to their collections. But let's not forget about the condition. As mentioned before, finding a 2000 penny in uncirculated condition is quite rare. In fact, most of the pennies minted in 2000 were put into circulation and became worn down over time. So, if you have a penny that has been carefully preserved, kept out of circulation, and remains in pristine, untouched condition, then you could be looking at a coin that's worth much more than just 1 cent. The grade of the coin, which is determined by how much wear and tear it has, plays a huge role in how much it's worth. Coins that are graded as MS65 or higher are in excellent condition and can command much higher prices on the market. Now, you might be wondering, if you do have a rare 2000 Lincoln penny, how much could it be worth? Well, it all depends on the rarity, condition, and any minting errors that the coin may possess. If you happen to find a 2000 penny with the wide AM error or the doubled die error in uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. The value of these coins can vary greatly depending on the specifics of the coin, but in some cases, the price can reach as high as $55,000. Yes, you heard that right, $55,000 for a single 2000 Lincoln penny. It's amazing to think that a coin that's worth just 1 cent could potentially fetch such a high price. But when you factor in the rarity of certain varieties, the minting errors, and the pristine condition of the coin, it's clear why collectors are willing to pay big money for these rare pennies. So, if you've been saving up a jar full of pennies or have some old coins lying around, it's definitely worth your time to check out your 2000 Lincoln pennies. Look closely for any signs of minting errors, and pay attention to the condition of the coin. You never know, you might have just stumbled upon a treasure that could be worth a lot more than you ever expected. That wraps up today's exciting journey into the world of the 2000 Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future coin discoveries. Who knows, the next treasure you uncover might be just around the corner. Happy collecting!